Right, here's one. I went out yesterday on an essential journey. I went to pick up something which I needed for my health, so to speak. I got a mountain bike, just a cheap one. I mean really cheap. It's in the garage there, you may be able to see it. Can you see it yet? Can you see it yet? So I went to pick that up because I need exercise. I don't get enough, so I need it. So it's very much a health thing for me. Anyway, I have a little mystery here, guys, that I haven't been able to solve. While I was out yesterday, it was a day very much like it is today. It was sunny, it was bright, and I don't know why, I flicked on the auto headlights and they came on, which is strange. So I thought, okay, what's all this about? Why are my headlights on in broad daylight with the sun? So I thought, well, I don't know, maybe it's... So I turned them off and then turned them back on a little bit later, and sure enough they came on again. So I did a little bit of research. I found out that the fuse for the headlights are the same as the ones for the rain sensor, the automatic wipers. So I brought the car out the garage and I turned on the wipers into the automatic position. Now if the fuse is gone, the wipers will default from the automatic to the normal interval procedure, where they'll just wipe at intervals like usual. So the wipers didn't move, and I poured some water onto the windscreen and the wipers wiped the windscreen. Okay, maybe a fluke. So I waited and I poured some more water. The second I poured some more water on the sensor, the wipers wiped the windscreen. Okay, so the wipers are working. So if they're both on the same fuse, why are my headlights always on? Because if the fuse blows, then when you put the automatic lights on, they're going to stay on, which would explain this. So I thought it's got to be the fuse, but then how can it be if the rain sensor fuse is okay? Okay, so next logical step was I got into the glove compartment and I pulled down the fuse box, and I got my little guide out, and it told me that the rain sensor was on fuse number 15 along with the rear wiper, only touring. Well, obviously I don't have a touring. Now the rain sensor is working. I've tested it twice. Now it might have been coincidence, but hey, what, the moment I pour water on the top of the windscreen, the wiper wipes twice? Maybe it's working off this number 45 fuse. Anyway, so I open the fuse box. Let me just do this. Now bear in mind, guys, before I go any further, bear in mind my auto lights have always worked. Always. Never had an issue with them. I go in a tunnel, they come on. I come out, they go off. They've always done it. I open this up. That is fuse 15. It wasn't there. It wasn't there. It was missing. Okay, so now I start thinking, well, how is the rain sensor working? I also start thinking, did I start pulling fuses out when I had that parasitic drain? And if so, did I pull that one out? I don't recall pulling it out, but did I pull it out and not replace it? In which case it would be lying around in the glove box, on the floor. Nothing. Nothing. Nowhere. Not in here. Nothing. So I thought, I know what's happened. I know what's happened. I've taken the fuse out of 14, or out of 15, and put it back into 14. That's what I've done. This belongs there, and I put it in there. That's what's happened. But then I checked on the chart, and number 14 is the immobilizer. So let me just get this in here. So that clearly wasn't the case. Now all these horizontal fuses you see here are your spare ones. It starts at 5, 7.5, 10, 15, and it goes up all the way to 40. So I figured they were the spares in ascending order. And I had the 5 there, so I took the 5 out and I put it into position 15, turned on the auto headlights, and they stayed off. So just as a further test, I put my hand over the sensor on the windscreen and the lights came on. Took my hand away and the lights went off. Perfect. Where the hell did fuse 15 go? And do I have a fuse like this one, which is in a place where it doesn't need to be? Have I moved a fuse around? I don't recall anything like this. So here we have a 10, and we have a 7.5, a 5, a 5, and a 10. If you can see that up there. 7.5, a 5, a 5, and a 10. Okay. Then to the left we have a blank and a 5 and a 5. That's fuse 24. Then a blank, and then so this one is fuse 22. Okay, let's have a look at fuse 22. Engine control, M3 only. 4-cylinder diesel engine. Anything else? Sequential manual gearbox, I don't have that. Only M3, sequential transmission. It appears I don't need fuse number 22. Engine control, only M3. That's 22, 29 and 30. Can you see this, guys? Fuse 22. How the hell did I put 15 into 22? So if I go through all the 22s, there's none here in this row, and here we have engine control, only M3, and there's 3 fuses there, including 22. So 22, engine control only, M3. 22, 4-cylinder diesel engine. Okay, I don't have one of those. What else? And 22. Here we go, sequential manual gearbox. Okay. I used to have one of those. The car came with one of those, but it doesn't have anymore. Sequential manual transmission only, M3, 8 and 22. So I don't think I need number 22. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it. And this video will serve as a reference that I did that. So I'm going to pull 22 out. And I'm going to put it back in the spare fuse holder. Then I'm going to start the car, and maybe I put the fuse in the wrong place, but how could I have done that? I don't recall ever messing with the fuse box to that level. So I'm going to run the car now. If there's any engine control issues, I've got a feeling we're going to know about it fairly soon. Well, that seems fine to me. Look at my MPG. I peaked it at 33.7 yesterday. I did of course it all reset when I changed the battery, but it started off lower. It was in the 26s as it started, and I did 115 miles, and then it's got itself to 33.2. Now bear in mind, I was driving like an old granny on the way back, literally 55 to 60 on the motorway, and I was behind a lorry, so I was using reduced air resistance based, you know, because the lorry was punching a hole in the air, and I was using that. Yeah, all seems fine here. I'm going to plug the diagnostics in now. I've got 2 errors on the whole car, and I can explain both of them. The first error on the diagnostics is the clutch switch, which, because this car's been converted to a manual, they didn't put the clutch switch in. So I could put one of those in and we'll be done. The second one is called an AUC sensor, which is to do with the aircon, and it's the thing that sniffs the bad air outside and switches to auto. You know, you put it on auto here and it switches from auto recirculating to outside and all that stuff. Okay, now that is the little box that sits on top of your radiator on the left hand side, and all I need to do is replace that. Apart from that, there are no diagnostic errors on this car. So all seems okay, and my auto headlights are not on. I think you can, I don't know if you can see when they do come on, but yeah, we're good. So I've pulled out fuse 22, which I don't need. If there's no errors on my diagnostics now, I'm going to leave it like that. How really weird. How did fuse 15 get missing and go into fuse 22? That appears. I'm hoping I'm going to find fuse 15 somewhere in the car at some point, and that fuse 22 was left in there from when I didn't do it, but from when the SSG gearbox came out and went to manual. I'm assuming they left 22 in there. I think 22's been in there all the time, personally. So yeah, the mystery of fuse 15. What the hell? Okay guys, I can't see me making a mistake pulling out 15 and putting it in 22. Why would I pick 22 out just randomly? Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, that's me. I'll catch you on the next one. Okay, so just to let you know, as an addendum to the video, that I did in fact run another diagnostic on the car, and everything's as it was. No extra errors, nothing, everything's clear. I'm just downloading or trying to update my sat-nav map, one of my sat-nav maps. It's being very slow though. I'm trying to use I've used the Wi-Fi connection in the car, and I'm trying to use the one from the house, but it's meh. It's using the 4G as well, but it's taking its time. My battery will be flat by the time this is done. But yeah, it's the only way to do it, unfortunately. And the map is 836 gig. Anyway, that's not what this vid's about. So yeah, fuse 22 out and into fuse 15. Still don't know what happened to fuse number 15. I don't recall taking it out at all. And if I did, I would have put it back. I'm quite diligent with those things. So, but you know, mistakes happen. So who knows? Who knows? But I can't imagine it happening, because why would I pick 22? I mean, what's all that about? But my car's got a clean bill of health in terms of diagnostics, so I'm not too worried. I like how the MPG went down from, what was it, 33.2 to 32.9 just by having the engine running in the drive. Not moving. Oh geez. Yeah, I mean, you can trust this number about as much as you can trust Microsoft when they tell you what percentage download completion you have. Or no, not that, sorry, the other one, where it tells you how many minutes remaining to copy. Like you pick up 100 files and you drag, and it says, you know, 17 minutes remaining. Yeah, okay. You look away, you look back, 12 minutes remaining. Yeah, and then it's back up to like 22 minutes. I don't even know why they bother with that, because it's next to useless. But that's Microsoft. Alright guys, I am now done. Bye bye.